Tonight is the night. Bright lights, high crowd. Yeah, we came to throw down. Everybody get loud. Tonight is the night. A-list can't miss when we burn it to the ground. Everybody get down. Tonight is the night. We stay climbing while our fame kept rising. Steady climbing, now we on top. It's not.
Hello, one and all, and welcome to my review of last night's episode of Monday Night Raw. And what can I say? It was a long time coming, but we finally got a good episode of Raw. What a breath of fresh air. After weeks upon weeks of mediocrity by World Wrestling Entertainment, they finally, it's like hallelujah, we have a great episode of Raw, in my opinion. I really enjoyed this episode from start to finish. There was very little wrong with it, but I will address those critiques throughout my review of this show. But yeah, this is going to be my thoughts on the October 26th edition of Raw, which took place from San Diego, California. So let's get on to Raw. We kick off things with, of course, the Authority, Triple H and Stephanie make their way to the ring, and they pretty much state that every challenger that Rollins has been, they've lined up for him, he's defeated. Whether it's Sting, it's Brock Lesnar, whether it's Cena, Ambrose, Orton, he's done it all, and now we need to have a new number one contender. And then Seth makes his way out. He's kissing their ass, he's like, oh, thank you for everything and all these opportunities, and I'm so glad I could prove you right. And Stephanie and Triple H announce that there will be a tournament tonight to crown the next number one contender for Survivor Series. And there would be a series of matches, and they would culminate, in a fatal four-way main event. And Roman Reigns made his way down to the ring, and he said that he would be the last man, and he would make it all the way to the Fatal 4-Way and be the one that would face Seth Rollins. So it was an alright way to open the show. I was excited about this tournament that they were having. It was something different. It freshened the show up, and they need to do tournaments more often because then it makes the matches that would happen throughout the night, it has meaning because it actually stands for something. Wins and losses do matter. You win, you go on to, the Fatal 4-Way. If you lose, that's it. So I'm glad they did a tournament, something different. And then we had our first contest of the night. We had Roman Reigns versus Kofi Kingston, different match. It was a fun match. I haven't seen these two go at it in a long time, if ever. But Reigns was able to get the win, and after he was able to avoid trouble in paradise, and then he was able to hit his spear for the win. It was a good match, good fun pace match. I had a feeling Reigns was going to win and advance, but there were some times that I thought Kingston was gonna make it past Reigns, but Reigns got the win here. It was great seeing New Day. We would later see them again later on in the night. So also before the match, they cut a funny promo. They were like, Reigns, Kofi's like, I'm about to go. You might as well call me Harry Potter because I'm about to go inside that ring and make some magic. And they made fun of his greasy hair and his style, how it's not fleek. That's what Big E said about Reigns. And I love New Day. And it was great seeing a fresh matchup, to start off Raw, because we've been getting weeks upon weeks of the same old matches over and over again. So this was definitely a nice change of pace for the show. And I definitely enjoyed Roman Reigns versus Kofi Kingston. Good match. Then we had a match this was a great match. Cesaro versus Kevin Owens. I was so glad to see this match. As soon as they announced it, I was excited. I was like, yes, because I loved their previous two matches, the one at SummerSlam and the one on Raw. And this was a really good match. The crowd was behind Cesaro. He looked really good. He hit his uppercuts on Owens, and he's just so strong when he held Owens up. and then slammed him. That was great. And then another highlight from this match was when Cesaro actually he was running towards Owens and he was going to hit him with the uppercut, and he grabbed the Cesaro section sign while he hit Owens with the uppercut into the barricade. So that was awesome to see. These guys just put on a pretty good match. Eventually, Owens was able to get a super kick, and he was able to hit his pop-up powerbomb and beat Cesaro and advanced into the Fatal 4-Way main event later on in the night. So very good match. Enjoyed it. We had a backstage promo between Paige, Becky, and Charlotte. Charlotte and Becky were pretty much like, look, if you're going to, be friends with us again, we have to make this work. There can't be, any sort of miscommunications. And Charlotte was like, if I found out, Paige, that you were the one that attacked Natalia, we're going to have a lot of problems. Paige was like, no, don't worry, I didn't do it. So next up, we had a 6 Divas tag team match. It was what it was. We've seen this match way too many times, but what was important was after the match, after Team Bella was able to get the pinfall, it was kind of a cluster anyway. Everybody was fighting, everyone, so it was tough to keep up with. I've seen Divas tag matches so often, I've become numb to them. The important thing is what happened after the match. Paige laid out Charlotte and Becky, and I hope that Paige is now going to stay as a heel. I'm tired of this. Is she with Team PCB? Is she not? No, Team PCB needs to go away, and we need to just focus on the individual women. And I hope that's what they're going for. We're going to get possibly a Paige versus Charlotte feud at Survivor Series. I think that would be fantastic. So I enjoyed seeing this beatdown. Paige actually got cheered by the crowd, so that was interesting. But it was good to see Paige turn on her team members and hopefully stay that way. So the match was nothing special, but what happened afterwards was important. Then we had a backstage promo with Zeb Coulter, who is now managing Alberto Del Rio. And Coulter said the reason that he is with Del Rio is because he wants to form a new nation. A nation with the United States and Mexico where there are no borders and we are all one happy family. And he called this nation America. And that's pretty much the explanation for why he is with Del Rio. He said he was wrong and with his previous viewpoints, and I guess it's okay, but I don't know. I mean, him and Del Rio were enemies in the past when he was managing Jack Swagger, so the explanation really wasn't that strong. So I hope they go somewhere with it and build off of it, because it was kind of weak, but I'll take it for this week. And then it was Del Rio versus Neville. Very good match. I like this match a lot. These guys put on a fun, high-paced, high-flying match. Neville, when he jumped off the top rope, I mean, that was nice move. And then Del Rio hit this sick backstabber onto Neville, and man, did he fly high and then fall back into the ring. And these guys just went back and forth against each other, and they put on a pretty good match. I was looking forward to this one too, another fresh matchup. Neville tried to hit the red arrow, but he got hung up in the corner, and Del Rio stomped on him, and he stomped on Neville's face and was able to get the win. So Del Rio, he looked really good in this match. He got a pretty good reaction from the crowd too. So Del Rio advanced to the Fatal 4-Way later on in the night. It was a good match. Then we had the 6-man tag with the Dudley Boys and Ryback teaming up to take on Sheamus, King Barrett, and Rusev. This match was nothing special. Barrett, Sheamus, and Rusev were able to get the win after Dudley, Bubba Ray was going to get the tables to put Barrett through, However, he got distracted and was able to get rolled up by Barrett, and the heels won. So there's nothing really to say about this match. Um, it would be an interesting trio keeping Rusev, Barrett, and Sheamus together. I would like that idea, but they'd have to come up with a storyline and a reason for it. And right now, they're just thrown together just to have a 6-man tag match. So this is definitely one of the low points of the show, if not the lowest point. But it went up from here. We had Bray Wyatt come to the ring and explain why he attacked The Undertaker. And he also mentioned that he would go after Roman Reigns again, but not right now. And he wanted to feed on the soul of The Undertaker and how he wanted it would resurrect himself. And then Wyatt was like, we all need a moment of silence for The Undertaker. And this was a great promo by Wyatt. I was really getting into it. And then Kane came out. He came out to confront Wyatt. And then the lights went out. And then the Wyatt family surrounded the ring and proceeded to attack and beat down Kane. It was an awesome segment. And they dragged him out of the ring, similarly to how they did to his brother, The Undertaker. So we're definitely building for a team Brothers of Destruction versus the Wyatt family at Hell in a Cell. At Survivor Series, and I cannot wait for that match. I think it's going to be fantastic, and I'm liking the build-up so far, and I can't wait to see what happens next week. So, very good segment. Then we had Dolph Ziggler facing Big E for the final spot in the Fatal 4-Way match. Another good match. These two have had history before. They feuded before in 2013. And these guys put on a pretty entertaining match. Also, Tyler Breeze made his Raw debut. And he made his way down to ringside and sat in the special VIP section. And, Ziggler took a lot of punishment in this match from Big E. But he was eventually able to, mount that classic babyface comeback. And the crowd was getting behind him. And Dolph was able to get the win when he hit the, I believe it was the Famouser. And I saw this match going either way, so I was happy to see Dolph win. I thought maybe Tyler Breeze would interfere, since him and Dolph seem to be having a storyline that I hope would culminate in a feud at Survivor Series with a match. I think Breeze versus Ziggler would be a great addition to the Survivor Series card. So, I'm glad to see Ziggler get the win and advance into the Fatal 4-Way, and this was a good match between him and Big E. And then we had our Fatal 4-Way match to crown the number one contender for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And this was a fantastic match. We had Seth Rollins on commentary. The stage was set. It kicked off. Reigns and Del Rio went at it. And then Owens and Ziggler were fighting near the guardrail. And then later on in the match, Owens and Del Rio would team up and eventually start taking on and taking out Reigns and Ziggler. However, there was one spot in the match that I really enjoyed. Was when Owens and Reigns came face to face. It was later on towards the end of the match. And the crowd was going nuts for this. They wanted to see this happen, and this could definitely be a great feud down the line. Reigns versus Owens. I would love to see that feud. And eventually it did come down to Reigns and Owens. And, this was just a high-paced, crazy match. Everybody was hitting their moves. Owens tried to get Reigns into the pop-up powerbomb. However, he hit Owens with the Superman punch and then was able to get the spear for the win. So Roman Reigns is your winner and new number one contender for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And afterwards, him and Rollins had a stare down, and that's how we ended Raw. So this was a really good episode with some good to great matches, some storytelling, some good promos. The promo by Wyatt, the beatdown of Kane. So all in all, this was a good episode of Raw. I'm going to give this episode an A-. I really enjoyed it that much. So yes, that is my grade for Raw. If you like this video, click the subscribe and like button. Thank you all for watching my videos. Be on the lookout for my Survivor Series card prediction, hopefully sometime this week, and my NXT review will be up on Wednesday as well. So with that, I am out. Thanks all for watching. Peace.